makes the One Piece storyline so compelling is that it's steeped in lore, with tens of legendary characters weaved into its history. In today's video, we'll be going from the strongest warriors to the luckiest pirates in One Piece, to cover all the record holders we encounter in the franchise. Let's start off with a few undisputed records, and we immediately have the strongest man in the world, Edward Newgate, also known as Whitebeard. Whitebeard's devil fruit, the Gura Gura no Mi, is widely accepted to be the strongest of all Paramecia-type devil fruits, and it's said that Whitebeard's shockwaves were powerful enough to destroy the world. Even without his devil fruit, Whitebeard was incredibly strong, and he was the only pirate who could fight Goldie Roger to a standstill in a duel lasting 3 days and 3 nights. What's interesting about Whitebeard is that despite his power, he only ever wanted to have a family, and he was content to watch over his territories in spite of being known as the man closest to the One Piece. Moving on to the strongest woman in the world, we have another former emperor in the form of Charlotte Linlin, also known as Big Mom. Even as a 5-year-old, she was mistaken as a giant, and standing at 29 feet tall as an adult, she was actually even bigger than Whitebeard himself. What makes Big Mom so threatening is her devil fruit ability, the Soru Soru no Mi, which manipulates souls, creating armies of homies and stealing lifespans. Big Mom is also incredibly durable, with iron-like skin that shrugs off cannon fire and resistance to lightning and burns. This pirate queen is virtually indestructible. In addition to feats like leveling entire cities by herself, Big Mom is also known for battling Kaido, who we'll see later on in this video, for 2 days straight. The Big Mom crew is actually pretty overpowered now that you think of it, because it's home to yet another record holder. Charlotte Katakuri had the longest undefeated streak in the Great Pirate era until he was finally defeated by Luffy during the Whole Cake Island arc. Now, you could argue that this streak is partly due to Big Mom taking on most of the Yonko level threats, but Katakuri actually has some incredible powers. His devil fruit, the Mochi Mochi no Mi, isn't inherently powerful, but Katakuri still manages to use it creatively in battle, while his mastery of all 3 Haki types makes him a significant threat. Katakuri was actually known for his future sight observation haki, which allowed him to respond to threats before they even occurred, often saving his crewmates' lives. There are many ways to measure strength in the One Piece universe, but Dracule Mihawk's title of the world's strongest swordsman is pretty unique even among them. Mihawk is a former warlord of the sea, and the only thing that prevented him from being more influential was probably his loner personality. Mihawk wields Yoru, one of the 12 supreme grade blades, also known as the Black Blade. Many years ago, he used to duel Shanks regularly, and his ability to outclass the red-haired captain made him legendary throughout the world. What makes Mihawk so special is that he has no devil fruit. Even his haki feeds into his swordsmanship, with armament haki to prevent damage to his blade, and advanced observation haki to see through his opponent's every move. But on the subject of devil fruit abilities, this may upset some of y'all, but the record for the most broken devil fruit clearly goes to Luffy. When it was just the Gomu Gomu no Mi, you could definitely argue that Luffy's devil fruit abilities required considerable skill. But when Luffy awakened his devil fruit as the Hito Hito no Mi Madonika, it completely lost any connection to skill or battle IQ, as Gear 5 literally gives Luffy the ability to fight in any way he pleases. This means he can't take damage, can transform his surroundings at will, and come up with attacks that can only be explained with cartoon physics. The Gorosei called it the most ridiculous power in the world, and they're right. How do you fight someone who breaks the rules of reality itself? Luffy's Gear 5 actually only became so noteworthy because he used it to defeat another record holder on this list, Kaido. Kaido is the captain of the Beast Pirates, and is known as the strongest creature in the world. This guy is incredibly durable, so much so that he routinely engages in life-threatening activities like jumping 10,000 meters from Sky Island, only to emerge with a slight headache. He's been captured 18 times and sentenced to death 40 times, but Kaido always escaped unscathed, often using his captivity as a way to get a free meal. The first person to at least damage him was the legendary samurai Kozuki Oden, and even then it was just a flesh wound. Kaido's devil fruit makes him even more overpowered by allowing him to transform into an azure dragon, a representation of pure, raw, unstoppable power. From strength, let's move on to speed, where Admiral Kizaru easily takes the title of the world's fastest man, as his Pika Pika no Mi lets him travel at literally the speed of light. Kizaru's fighting style involves using his light powers to travel at blinding speeds and dealing damage to his opponents with heavy kicks. Rayleigh managed to keep up with Kizaru by using haki to suppress his devil fruit abilities, but aside from Conqueror's haki masters like him and Shanks, it's hard to imagine any regular fighters keeping up with Kizaru. Honestly, there's so much more potential for Kizaru's devil fruit ability, but his laid-back personality stops him from being one of the top-tier threats in the franchise. These records probably feel the best when they're officially recognized, so Monkey D. Dragon is probably pretty happy about his title of the most dangerous man in the world, given to him by the world government itself. Dragon leads the Revolutionary Army, which actually makes him more dangerous than pirates with higher bounties. Pirates don't threaten the government's existence, and are happy to live within the system where power is balanced between the nobles and the emperors. But Dragon wants to destroy the system entirely. The Revolutionary Army has liberated multiple countries, gathered tens of powerful fighters, and even directly challenged the Celestial Dragons, with Sabo infiltrating Inu's lair. Ideas are harder to kill than even the strongest pirate, and that's why Dragon is the world's worst criminal. So far, we've been focused a bit too much on strength and influence, so let's switch things up with the world's greatest shipwright, Tom. He's known for building the Oro Jackson, the ship that reached Laugh-Tale, for Goldie Roger, and this helped Roger eventually become Pirate King. Tom was arrested for his association with Roger, but was pardoned likely because he created the Sea Train, which revolutionized Water 7's economy. Tom was not only a great tradesman, but a brilliant teacher as well, since his legacy lives through Frankie and Iceberg. Iceberg in particular turned out to be a skilled shipwright in his own right after the Galila company managed to build a new sea train, after Tom was arrested again. While Tom was a pretty skilled tradesman, he didn't have the highest intelligence level. The record holder for the smartest character in One Piece actually goes to Dr. Vegapunk, who's known as the man 500 years ahead of his time. This isn't even a debate when you think about his achievements. Vegapunk discovered how devil fruits work, created artificial devil fruits, invented pacifistas and seraphim, developed technology for objects to eat devil fruits, and also researched the ancient kingdom. Vegapunk was so outrageously innovative that he created 6 satellites representing aspects of his personality so that his genius would live on. This actually turned out to be a great decision though, since Vegapunk's knowledge was so dangerous that understanding the Void Century got him killed. Speaking of IQ, let's go to the opposite end, where we have Gedatsu, who's monumentally stupid. This Skypiea priest constantly rolls his eyes so far back he can't see, forgets to breathe through his nose, aims attacks at allies, and tries to eat with his ears instead of his mouth. Despite his powers, Gedatsu literally defeated himself in his fight with Chopper. Honestly, more than just being stupid, there seems to be something seriously wrong with this guy's head. From intelligence to looks, there's a bit of a competition here for the title of most beautiful woman in One Piece, but technically, that record should go to Boa Hancock, the Pirate Empress. While she was a child, Boa Hancock was enslaved by the world nobles, and forced to eat the Mero Mero no Mi, which gave her the power to turn people into stone. But after escaping Marie Joie, she became the Empress of Amazon Lily, and gained a reputation as the most beautiful woman in the world. Her devil fruit powers are a testament to her beauty, as anyone who is attracted to her will turn to stone, and very few people have actually been able to resist this. But Boa isn't just beautiful, she was the only female member of the 7 Warlords, and had mastery over all 3 hockey types, including Conqueror's Hockey. And for our final record, we have the luckiest pirate of them all. Now you might think this title goes to Luffy because of his ridiculous plot armor, but there's an even better candidate, Buggy the Clown. Think about it, this man fails upward better than anyone. He initially trained on Roger's ship, accidentally ate a devil fruit, and got defeated by East Blue Luffy. Now, most of Luffy's early enemies ended up as fodder by the end of the series, and it seemed Buggy would have the same fate when he got imprisoned at Impel Down. But Buggy's fortunes turned rapidly when he found himself being the leader of the Cross Guild, with the likes of Crocodile and Mihawk under his command. As an Emperor of the Seas, Buggy is now ranked equal to Shanks, Luffy, and Blackbeard. He's weak, but has insane reality-defying luck, with every dangerous situation somehow elevating his reputation. And that wraps up our list of all the record holders in One Piece. Did we miss any records? As always, drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for more awesome One Piece videos.